right, man. Warriors lose to the Denver Nuggets 119-103 at Chase Center tonight. This was the game that I was talking about. This was the kind of thing that I was referencing throughout the road trip where the Warriors just absolutely took off and the defense looked great and the offense was coming along and all this great stuff was happening. You know, Gary's coming back. Guys are getting healthy. Steph was getting back to MVP form. Kuminga took off. Wiggins was getting back. You know, all that stuff. This was the type of game that I was talking about where they're playing well against a team like Brooklyn, where it's a lot of wings. There's not a real dominant scorer. The center depth isn't that spectacular. The interior presence isn't that spectacular. It's a better matchup for the Warriors. This was the kind of game that I was saying, watch out. This is the one where the Warriors' lack of size, the Warriors' lack of attention to detail and help defense, the Warriors' lack of, consistent through the numbers offensive production is going to show itself. And tonight you saw it again. Stephen Curry, for the fourth or fifth time now, has been absolutely bottled up by the Denver Nuggets. Just cannot get anything going. Tonight, I think he was, 1 of 10 from 3, 6 of 19 from the field. He did get in the free throw line 8 times, which was a rarity for Steph, but all of his shots were layups. Every single one. He could not find anything. Every shot that he took was difficult. Nothing was open. Multiple looks at him. Obviously, Jokic, they have him stunt up on every single screen and overshoot and force ball handlers to make passes inside, and that's where guys like Aaron Gordon or Zeke Naji or Peyton Watson, Christian, longer athletic guys gives them an opportunity to defend. Obviously, KCP and names like that, and it worked again. It worked again. Steph just did not have it tonight. He had a 14-point third quarter, but again, all layups and free throws. Did not get a 3. I think he got 1 3 maybe at the end, but that was really it. Also had 3 turnovers, making a few bad passes, but that's because the Nuggets were forcing turnovers. It wasn't just stupid stuff, really. It was a lot of, really tight window passes because the Warriors just were getting bottled up. Jonathan Kuminga got to the line 13 times, but this was another game where he doesn't look comfortable. Teams are figuring him out. They're kind of playing him in the middle a little bit and forcing him to either really rely on a mid-range shot, take the threes, because he doesn't have this uber Jordan Poole dribble bag where guys are falling back all the time. Jonathan Kuminga is very quick and to the point, straight line, couple hesitation moves, maybe a Euro step here or there, but he's pretty straightforward with his moveset, and it just doesn't feel like his impact is really there anymore. This was what I was saying. He had 19 points, so not it wasn't a bad game by him, but only 10 field goal attempts, 5 of 10 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3. But it was those 9 free throw makes that he had that really took the game up for him, because if it weren't for that, he kind of had a rough night. Defensively, didn't play the best. I think he had a couple good moments, but wasn't that good for the Warriors here. Did have 6 boards and 3 rebounds, but again, just not as impactful as he's been in games past. Teams have figured him out. They're just gapping him. They're forcing him to back down in the post, and even then, he just doesn't have this incredible, depth of game yet to where he can take advantage of every matchup. The first time the Warriors played the Nuggets this season at Chase Center, Kuminga was getting all he could eat on Jamal Murray. Tonight, he had that matchup multiple times, and I don't think took advantage once. He even had Christian Brown on him a couple times. He was getting small matchups, and he still just wasn't able to get the looks that he wanted. Didn't have open paint. Aaron Gordon was playing help defense. Peyton Watson was playing help defense. Jonathan just didn't really have much to work with, which again was kind of the worry that I had with, okay, you're going to pick Kuminga. You really got to hope that he continues this play, because if he doesn't, back to square one. Andrew Wiggins. Andrew had a fantastic first half. I thought he played spectacular basketball. He hit a couple threes, playing great defense, really getting over those screens. I thought he did a solid job on Jamal Murray, You know, Jamal Murray's just a tough shot maker, one of those kinds of guys. So he's gonna hit looks anyways. But I thought Wiggins did a good job regardless. Also did a great job passing. He had a really good connection with Podziemski today. And I liked his takes offensively in general. So I thought Wiggins played well, but he kind of disappeared in the second half. You know, and that was the same thing with Klay. Klay was incredible in the first half. He had 23 points. I think he went scoreless in the second half. But he was incredible in the first half, 7 of 15 from the field. He made 5 threes, 4 of 4 from the line. He was drawing a lot of contact, making a lot of skip passes, which was nice. That's something, you know, again, talked about it with Klay, just becoming a more effective playmaker and using his shooting ability. The fact the guys are going to overshoot screens, they're going to send two at him, using that to his advantage to just generate open looks wherever he can. I thought Klay did a better job of that tonight in the first half. Overall, though, the offense just didn't really generate much. You know, didn't really generate much. Draymond still hit his first quarter three, which has pretty much been his game this entire time. He did have 6 turnovers, but a lot of those were just, you know, they were tight window passes. And when you're playing a team like the Nuggets, who are tall and they're long and they're athletic, you know, it's difficult to sneak those passes through. You know, and they kind of have the Warriors' number right now. They just know what the Warriors are going to do, and there's not much, you know, singular offense outside of Steph that the Warriors can throw at them. You know, again, aside from Klay, who was coming off the bench, Steph was the only guy on the roster that gave you 20. You know, Wiggins gave you 14 and Kuminga gave you 19, but 9 of those points were from the free throw line, so there just wasn't too much non-foul line offense being generated from the Warriors. I mean, the bench still outscored the Nuggets. What was it? 39-21. But the bench was electric in the first half and absolutely shut down in the second half. And a lot of that had to do with Klay Thompson. So, you know, Klay Thompson has a dud. And this game, it looks really, really bad, you know. And forget the fact that defensively, the Warriors held Michael Porter Jr. to 1 of 6 from 3 of 11 from the field to only 9 points, and they still nearly gave up 120 to the Nuggets. You know, Aaron Gordon, 17 points, 7 of 10, still getting on the offensive glass, kind of like Westbrook was against the Warriors. Really active defensively. Jokic, 13 of 24, only made 2 threes, but he still had 16 boards, 16 assists, only 2 turnovers. Getting active in the passing lanes with 4 steals and a block. I mean, Jokic was everywhere. 32 points for him. KCP hit a couple big transition threes. 5 of 9 from the field for him. You know, 13 points there. Jamal Murray gave you 27, 4, and 3 on 9 of 16 shooting. 3 of 5 from 3, 6 of 6 from the line. Like, they were just getting production from everyone they needed. Christian Braun gave you 7 points. Zeke Naji gave you 6 points and 3 offensive boards. Extending possessions there, they had 12 offensive boards in total to the Warriors' 11. They out-rebounded the Warriors on the defensive glass as well, 33-31. Assists, they had 29 to the Warriors' 27. They had 7 less turnovers. You know, shot better from the field, both areas. It's difficult, man. It's difficult playing a team that's bigger than you, that's more athletic than you, and that has more offense. It just highlights the issues the Warriors have. You know, next meeting, maybe Jonathan Kuminga does have a better game. Maybe Andrew Wiggins plays a little more consistently and Steph kind of, you know, has a better night. But still, if the Nuggets still have their big 3 rolling, the Warriors don't win. They still lose, you know, because the Warriors' defense isn't strong enough. I mean, again, Trayce was incredible tonight, but Trayce still played limited minutes. I don't think he got any run time against Jokic, if I'm not mistaken. But he was great in his time. 6 points, 2 boards, an assist, a steal, 2 blocks, 3 or 4 from the field. Got to the line a couple times. I mean, like, Trayce was great. But I don't know, even if he plays big minutes come playoff time or something, I don't really know if he's holding Jokic down at all. Draymond did as good a job as he could. Again, Draymond's load is far, far bigger than anyone else's on this team outside of Steph's, because Draymond has to be the primary defender of all number 1 centers, and he has to be the primary help defender and make up for all the mistakes that everyone else is making. And again, the Warriors struggle mightily with help defense, so if Draymond's already helping and nobody's helping the helper, Well, a team like the Nuggets are just going to eat you alive. Aaron Gordon was getting a lot of duck-ins. Reggie Jackson was getting some open looks because guys were fading too far back on Jamal, and Draymond was having to leave the paint, and passes were being made inside. I mean, the Warriors just got picked apart. Started off strong, had a 16-point lead at one point, but right when the Nuggets just brought it together a little bit, it was over. It was over. The Warriors didn't have an answer. And again, that's on a game where MPJ had a dud. 3 of 11, 1 of 6 from 3. He had a dud. And the Warriors still got blasted at home after being up 16. So I don't really know. I don't know what the answer is here. Again, they didn't make a trade at the deadline. I said they needed a big, they needed a secondary scorer, and they needed another wing defender. Those were the 3 things I brought up. They chose to roll with Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins. Fine. Andrew Wiggins has played fantastic defense, and his 3 balls back. Cool. Production is still there. Jonathan Kuminga still produced tonight. He didn't not produce. But the Warriors need Kuminga to be that number 2 guy, to consistently provide number 2 level offense if they want to do anything. He did not do that tonight. The Warriors need a consistent rim protector because Draymond cannot do everything. And again, against teams that are bigger than you, that have elite centers or elite power forwards, if Draymond's constantly having to help and get guys out of the paint, or you got a guy like Jokic who can play at the top of the perimeter, play at the elbow, if Draymond's out there worrying about him, who's helping behind Draymond? Who's protecting the paint? Who's making sure no one's just getting open looks at the rim? So this was a game where, again, this was a test. This was a test to the Warriors to see, can full small ball work, number 1. And I think they played all right, but they got outplayed still. They still made the same Warriors mistakes, too many turnovers, not boxing out well enough, making too many tough passes. But the Nuggets, they continue to just outplay the Warriors. And we've seen it time and time again against better teams. The Warriors just don't seem to fully have it. And they get, kind of exposed on what they need and what they don't have. So moving forward here, keep looking out for this kind of stuff. Keep looking out for this kind of stuff. Quickly want to mention Steve Kerr got a 2-year extension here to match Steph's contract. I'm pretty sure match Steph's final tenure, I imagine, with the Warriors before retirement. Granted, who knows? LeBron's probably going to play till he's like 45. So Steve Kerr could be around for a long time. But as far as the future holds for Steve Kerr and the Warriors, again, it's about addressing the problems in the offseason. This is opportunity number 3 or 4 in a row now, where we know what needs to happen. What needs to be added. As good as Dario Saric was in the first half of the season, he doesn't make sense anymore. This is where a Jared Allen makes a lot of sense. This is where even a Wendell Carter Jr. makes a lot of sense. Not a Dario Saric. This is a time where Pat Spencer doesn't make sense, but maybe a Donovan Williams makes sense, coming up from the G League, just a long wing, right? This is not a time where bringing back Chris Paul makes any sense. This is a time where, hey, how about we give Usman Garuba some run? He's athletic. He can play the 4 or the 5. He can provide some weak side help and some playmaking from a center with a defensive mindset. They need the production at the spots that they're weak in, and they just don't have it right now. So, yeah, to avoid being further redundant, we'll see what the Warriors do in the offseason. Steve Kerr will be here for another 2 seasons, though, following this upcoming playoff session, should the Warriors make it. And got 2 more years of him to match Steph, and then we'll see how the Warriors finish this season out. This is, again, this is a test, and the Warriors did not pass the test. So, gonna be a bit troublesome moving forward to continue to pay attention to, because at this point, I don't know. Every game the Warriors play well in, I try to make it known that, hey, they might have won this, but the problems are still there. You can still see the underlying issue. That game against the Lakers, I still highlighted, hey, even though the Warriors won, no LeBron James, first of all, but even though the Warriors won, the defense was still really bad. It was really bad in a game where you need your defense to be your driving force, because that's how you get out in transition, and that's how you make teams work extra. And they just haven't really had that too much. So, yeah, that's going to do it, though. If you like the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts below. Warriors fans, Nuggets fans, all that good stuff. Podcast will be happening early this week, so be on the lookout for that. And, yeah, man, have a good rest of your weekend and a good week moving forward. Peace.